of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one? Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in this shot.
It's based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life.
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious.
He was, you know, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, you know, if I lost you and I, you know, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. This is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh, really? Because I just have one on my list. I didn't.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a bird. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, okay, think of someone. I'm Newhart.
Honored that because, you know, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful that we're able to have this much anticipation and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really like reach in and touch students.
Blake Lively, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, is caught in a storm so intense it could end her career as we know it. What started as an exciting movie adaptation of It Ends With Us has spiraled into a full-fledged legal war with a $400 million defamation lawsuit, leaked evidence, and whispers of perjury that could land Lively behind bars for up to 5 years. Fans are divided, Hollywood insiders are scrambling, and the internet can't get enough of the drama. But how did we get here? And is there any way out? Let's dive into one of the most explosive celebrity scandals of the year. When news broke that It Ends With Us, Colleen Hoover's heartbreaking bestseller, was getting a movie adaptation, fans were ecstatic. Justin Baldoni, known for his deeply emotional storytelling,
I was immediately taken back to when she flipped the narrative on me and acted as if I did all these offensive things, when I want to reiterate I didn't speak to this girl. I did not speak to her. So this girl has a pattern of flipping the narrative, playing the victim, and then leveraging her status to actually bully and mistreat other people. So I've never heard of Justin Baldoni. I'm someone who, again, worked with Hollywood directors, never heard of this guy. This might have been his big break. And what I saw is her harassing him. Because again, usually it's the director that's the bigger dog on set. So yeah, they can harass their talent if they're like the much bigger name. But when you're the bigger name, you can have them kicked off set.
All right, moving on to other parts of the footage that Blake
was set to direct, while Blake Lively, famous for her charm and dramatic versatility, was cast in the lead role. On paper, it was a perfect match until everything fell apart. Like Dot. Set photos showed Lively decked out in extravagant high-fashion outfits, a far cry from the struggling protagonist she was meant to portray. Fans were outraged. Was this supposed to be a raw, gut-wrenching film or a glitzy rom-com? The internet exploded with criticism, accusing the production of stripping away the novel's emotional core. As backlash mounted, reports surfaced of major creative differences between Lively and Baldoni. He reported
frame up on Sebastian on you. Yep. We'll just do like our lips are right next to each other.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think you should start talking.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Still rolling.
Don't give it to them. They want it. Don't give it to them.
Score.
Just keep restraint.
Yeah.
Score.
Just do a little bit of restraint.
Ryan, come on back.
And my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
God.
Just kidding.
Met like a few times through Ryan on that film, and you know, and thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Some people, there's a couple people that have muted. Yeah. I think I'm just brunette because the books.
Everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
About is so important and so meaningful that we're able to have this with much anticipation and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like that's what
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was
Lily wanted to stay faithful to the book's intense emotional tone, while Lively's team allegedly pushed for a more comedic, mainstream-friendly approach. The result? A heated behind-the-scenes battle over the very essence of the film. Then, things took a turn for the worse. Lively allegedly felt sidelined and ignored during key production decisions, claiming she wasn't given a say in the direction of the film.
For one case, we're going to put every single text message, every single document, everything on a website for everyone in the public to read, come to their own conclusions, and they can determine whether or not there was sexual harassment here, there was a smear campaign, or there was retaliation, because we have proof and receipts that absolutely and unequivocally show this is not true.
I'm probably getting breakfast. Sounds good. Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
But Baldoni hit back, hard. He reportedly provided text messages, emails, and scheduling logs proving that Lively was not only fully involved, but also enthusiastic about the creative choices being made. What started as a creative dispute exploded into a legal firestorm when Baldoni filed a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Lively. According to Baldoni's legal team, Lively intentionally misrepresented the events behind the scenes, painting him as a controlling, dismissive director, while she, in reality, was an active participant in shaping the film. A lawsuit of...
We always tease each other. He was, you know, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, you know, if I lost you and I, you know, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can...
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me.
I just read it because I was looking for movies that could be commercial and speak to the human experience. And
Were you reading romance novels?
And I had never read a romance novel.
Never?
And she said, just trust me, read it. So I read it, and by the end of the book, I couldn't even read the text on the page because I was crying so much. My wife was in bed next to me, and she's, you know, I got snot coming out of my nose.
By all accounts,
After I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. This is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh, really? Because I just have one on my list. I don't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, think of someone. Bob Newhart, I don't know.
He's done a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. And I hope people find it inspiring, and yet also, it's a film about a heavy topic. It's about domestic violence.
This magnitude is virtually unheard of in Hollywood. $400 million is the kind of money that could ruin a career. But Baldoni wasn't backing down. Determined to clear his name and prove Lively's claims were misleading at best, or outright false, at worst then came the real bombshell. Rumors that Lively might have fabricated or